Great afternoon to you, Damar and Carrie and all of the descendants of J.B. Daniel. I just wanted to give you just a short video presentation of J.B. Daniel and the life and the legacy that he made on Freestone County, on Pleasant Hills Children's Home, and maybe where you don't even realize it, on your life as well. So I hope you enjoy these next few minutes and that they touch your life in a dramatic way. In 1947, prominent businessman Jennings Bryan J.B. Daniel, along with his wife Louise Callum Daniel, was moved with compassion to help families in need after the Great Depression era. The story told was that he was driving through town one day and saw children all over the streets with no families, no mother, no father. After going home, he broke down and cried out to the Lord, "What can I do?" It was then he heard very clearly from the Lord that he was to gather those children and open an orphanage. At the time, J.B. and Louise had 5 children of their own: Sonny, Mary Nell, Edward, Billy Paul, and the youngest, Bobby, who we affectionately call Grandbobs. When J.B. was out on his property speaking with God, he was asked by the Lord if he trusted him. J.B. gave a resounding yes to the Lord, and God began to unfold all of the steps he would need to follow in order to make this vision of an orphanage a reality. God told J.B. to give him everything, and without hesitation, J.B. faithfully obeyed. Because of this obedience to God, the Lord promised J.B. that he would bless his family to 1,000 generations. Deuteronomy 7:9 says, "Know therefore that the Lord your God is good. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments." A charter was granted by the state of Texas for the Daniel Memorial Orphanage in September 1947, where J.B. Daniel dedicated approximately 1,000 acres located 17 miles east of Fairfield, Texas. Daniel purchased former barracks from nearby Camp Fannin to serve as dormitories, and a dining and administrative space, and an army chapel in Oklahoma was later acquired and reassembled at the site. The home flourished, and by its second anniversary in 1950, there were already 65 orphans. J.B. Daniel had 2 non-negotiable rules. Everyone had to attend church, and no matter what the circumstances were, siblings would never be separated. The Daniel Memorial Orphanage changed its name to Daniel Memorial Children's Home in 1962, where the Daniel family continued administration of the home. In 1968, J.B. Daniel resigned his board presidency due to failing health, and the entire facility was legally deeded to the Assemblies of God in May of 1970, and it continues in operation today as the Pleasant Hills Children's Home. Because J.B. chose to be obedient to God, even when it wasn't easy or popular to do so, God graciously blessed him and his children and their children, and he will continue to bless his lineage to 1,000 generations. If this doesn't excite you, nothing will. Listen to me closely. You are all a part of his legacy, reaping blessings you did nothing to receive, but God, in his faithfulness, always keeps his word and can always be trusted. The story of J.B. Daniel reminds us that what we do, good or bad, affects generations to come. Psalm 78 explains the importance of teaching the next generation about all that the Lord has done. I pray in your family that you share the story of J.B. to the next generation and to the generation after that, so that they too can know of the faithfulness of God. Psalm 78:4 says, "We will not hide them from their descendants. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, his power, and the wonders he has done." J.B. Daniel began a legacy by which I have personally witnessed blessing upon blessing. Even from his children who did not follow God, they were still blessed. When God makes a covenant, it's an unbreakable promise. You are part of that covenant, and I pray that you live your life in such a way that others can't help but notice that you all have been marked by God.